Alright guys, Dokkan time again, and today I wanted to start up a new type of video, and this video is going to be versusing, or I'm not really sure what a name to give it, but basically, which unit is better when they're that similar? GODKU and LR Vegeta and Trunks are insanely similar on their kits. It's, I've seen a lot of people talking about it, I see a lot of people doing videos on everything, and honestly, at the end of the day, with stats and figures, and it's all well and good, but the truth is that there's very easy ways to go about this. So as you can see on the screen, I have a bunch of check and X marks on them, and I wanted to go through and check off which one is better. So, which leader skill is better? Which passive is better? Which super attack is better? What is better about these units? So, I have them pulled up right now on the Dokkan Wiki, both of GODKU and the Vegeta and Trunks. We're going to go over their leader skills, we're going to go over their passive. Now, I can go ahead and do a video showing all their stats, and their stats are fine, and I've done videos with them before. And the truth is that they honestly are very similar, but there are key things that will make them very much so different and show which one is better. And with the meta, it can change based on other units coming in and out. But let's just kind of go over. We'll start with the leader skills. So, the leader skill for GODKU is Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans, with 200% being Power of Wishes and Exploding Rage. Now, with Vegeta and Trunks, their leader skill is Bond of Parent and Child and Future Saga category, and the 200% lead being only for the Battle of Fate category. So now, obviously, we have two very different leader skills here, but also semi-lead kind of the same. The thing I will say about GODKU's is that he has a very wide range of characters that you can throw on there. You got Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans. So basically, every single Goku, every single Vegeta, Goten, Trunks, Raditz, Bardock, all of the low-class Warrior Saiyans, Tarble. I mean, there's a lot of random units you could really throw on this team. The thing I will mention, though, is that this kind of is a similar category to Bond of Parent and Child. Now, Bond of Parent and Child, if we want to look at it real quick here, is basically exactly what I just said. It is pretty much all Goku, Vegeta's, well, Saiyan heritage. Honestly, I think the only one that might not be, I don't think the GOAT Raditz is actually on this category, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I'm not even seeing him pop up on the list. Yeah, he's not. But basically, you can hold Bond of Parent and Child down to straight up Saiyan Goku family and Saiyan Vegeta family. That's basically what Bond of Parent and Child is. You do have some Chi-Chis in here. I don't know if Bulma is a part of... Well, let me check here. Bulma. Is she a part of it? Bula is. She's also Hybrid Saiyan, though. Bulma shows up, but these are also all Vegeta units. So Bulma doesn't pop up in it like Chi-Chi does. Let me just type in Chi. Yeah, all of the Chi-Chis are on Bond of Parent and Child. Is Raditz, though? I apparently do not know how to spell. I apologize. Clicky keyboards. Raditz. No Raditz on Bond of Parent and Child. So, that is the one takeaway I take from their leader skill, is that they are very similar. The other thing is that there is the Future Saga category, but even on JP, this category is very not good right now. We did just finally get the LR Tech Vegito EZA, and that helps out quite a bit. But unfortunately, I'll be real here, outside of the Tech Androids and EZA Fizz Future Gohan, This is a pretty poor category. I mean, Zamasu and Rose Zamasu are okay. I mean, they're good. And then, of course, Vegeta Trunks themselves. You can make a team. It's just they're not a very coherent team. The team the category needs buffs, is what I'm saying. It needs drastic buffs. And there's a lot of easy A's like these three up top. They're all dead. A lot of this content can be used in a lot of different events and so forth. But honestly, you're not taking this category into red zone stages. You're just not. You'll get destroyed. You cannot do a future well, you can, but it'd be very carried by specific units. It's not a very balanced category. And I think just because of that, I honestly have to give the I gotta give oh boy, I'm not gonna find it. Oh boy. I thought I had this all lined up. So I'm gonna give the dub to Goku. Primarily just because, you know, it's really difficult to make a category that's not just Goku Vegeta family as far as it comes with Vegeta and Trunks. I like their category. Like, Battle of Fate's an okay-ish category to go with, but I just feel like Goku's is just so much easier, if that makes any sense. it's purely kind of a personal choice to say that his leader skill outdoes theirs, but it's mostly because they also have Power of Wishes and Exploding Range. They have a bigger list of units that could be on the 200% team. Let's look at his 200% Battle of Fate category. So, out of all of these, the only units that you're gonna see on 200% are, of course, the same thing. Freaking Hybrid Saiyans or Pure Saiyans. Now, Battle of Fate, you'll get all of the Future Saga category. It's basically a free 200% for Future category. But, I mean, you can equally make the same. You could honestly argue and say that LR Vegeta Trunks actually has the better leader skill, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's the easiest or the most reliable one. GODKU's is easier to just throw a team together, and it's just easier that way. Not to mention Power of Wishes is a brand new category that I think a lot of people want to try and use as just much more. Unfortunately, a lot of the units on Power of Wishes are not Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans. I mean, it's unfortunate, but Piccolo's on Power of Wishes. That's one of the main primary units you would bring onto this category. And then you have Exploding Rage, which is basically, well, mostly Goku's and a couple of Vegetas and Gohans. We got Ultimate Gohan here, Super Saiyan God Goku himself, Bardock's. Can you get the 200% out of all of the Kid Gokus? No, you can't. Wow, that's actually a very small category. I think I might have to retract my statement. How many big units are on the 200%? We have Goku himself, Biz Bardock, Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, Carnival Goku, Kid Goku. I might need to retract my statement. Battle of Fate, huh? Battle of Fate. Is Goku. Gohan. This okay. Gohan again, okay. No Kid Goku, though. Oh, and then there is LR Vegito. LR Vegito definitely means that he's a 200% lead. That might make or break it right there. LR Vegeta and LR Gogeta are actually some of the top 5 units in the game right now. But I think I might actually have to retract my statement there. Overall, they're both very similar leader skills. But at the end of the day, I guess I'm going to have to give it to... I'm going to have to actually say that they're pretty even. Now that I'm thinking about it, they are pretty much dead even. They both have a good slew of 200% units. They have a large variety of the top 10 units in the game on their categories. They're both very easy to pull together because they're, well, primarily Saiyan of Goku and Vegeta family units. So I would say they're pretty dead even as far as that goes. I personally want to say that Goku's is better, but honestly, they're basically the same. So let's move on to the next part, which I'm going to start with the super attack. So GODKU only has his raise attack and defense. That's it. That's his 12 key. That's all he's got. If you want to count his transformation, then we can take that into account. But I don't. Let's see here. So with Vegeta and Trunks, they're always stacking. Oh wait, no they're not. No they're not. What? Okay, that's a no-brainer. I'm sorry. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn on 12 key. That means they only stack on 18 key supers. So as far as super attacks go, yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's a blatant win in my book. That's a blatant win for GODKU. GODKU wins in the super attack spectrum. I'm sorry. That's just a no-brainer. I'm sorry. No. Vegeta and Trunks loses that. They have the worst super attack animation. It's very unfortunate, but it's just purely because they only stack on their 18 key. They could triple super in a turn, but they're only stacking 1 time. Meanwhile, GODKU triple supers and he stacked 3 times already. So, but yeah, that's unfortunate. I would like to take into account of the Super Saiyan transformation, but it's irrelevant as most people are going to want to use GODKU in his GODKU form, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to use him to raise his attack and defense. And at the end of the day, if you elapse the same exact amount of turns in the same exact scenarios, GODKU will build up more than Vegeta and Trunks will. So no, he has the better super attack. Now, let's go on to their passive skills. Now, their passive skills are going to probably be similar but different. They both have entrance animations. Let's see here. For Goku, it's attack plus 100%. And when performing a super attack and randomly changes key spheres to Fizz, and to Fizz key spheres for 6 turns from the start turn when there are 6 or more super class allies on the team with the start attacking turn. So that is something to keep in mind right here. The 6 or more super class allies. So yes, you can build a team with GODKU on extreme units, as there's, well, Broly, I suppose, would be the only pure Saiyan that would actually pop up, and I don't think there's a extreme hybrid Saiyan that I can possibly think of. So it's very unlikely that you'll be bringing him and you won't be utilizing that. But on the off chance that you're rocking Broly or any extreme unit on the same team as GODKU, you're missing out on orb changing. That is something to keep in mind. Let's see what their entrance animation says. Once only. Oh, okay. Key plus 2 and defense plus 70% and guards all attack 5 turns from the start turn when there's another bond of parent child category ally in the same turn at the start of the attacking turn. Okay. So no matter what, he's pretty much always getting that off at the beginning. And for 5 turns, he always has guard. And he gets ki +2 and an additional defense plus 70%. That defense definitely helps. That is equal to, what, 2.5 stacks of defense? Or 1 greatly raise and then a normal raise? That defense helps them out a lot. I will say that. As far as their entrance animations go, yeah, I'd have to say Vegeta and Trunks is better. Much better. The only thing that sucks is that they'll lose the 70% at some point. And they technically lose guard at that point, too. Obviously, unless they're in the slot 1, I believe. Ki +2, medium chance plus blah blah blah. Plus additional attack and defense plus 70%, and guards all attacks as the first attacker in a turn. So this is the interesting part here. So no matter what, he's having the 70% defense and guards all in the first attacking position. Meanwhile, Goku has to get the 6 or more ki spheres to actually guard. So they both have conflicting guard restrictions. One could say that Vegeta and Trunks is easier to pull off, but they can still get really screwed over in the beginning. And if they're not stacking well enough, I mean, they have guard for the first 5 turns, so as long as they are getting their 18 ki off every single turn for the first 5 turns, they should be at a respectable amount of defense that guard will save them for the most part. But the thing about Goku is, he gets his Fizz Orbs for 6 turns. Don't they, did they change ki spheres? No, they don't. For some odd reason, I thought that Vegeta and Trunks actually changed ki spheres. They do not change ki spheres, and they need ki spheres because they gotta get that, 18 ki. They have to get that 18 ki. Wow, okay. Well, let's move on to the rest of it. So, ki +2 attack and defense 150%. What is their base? Ki +2 attack and defense 140%. Okay. They have built-in additional. Built-in additional is nice. I will say that. It is nice to have built-in additional, but the problem is still they're not stacking after the 18. Like Goku is. Medium chance to evade, plus an additional attack defense plus 50%, chance of evading enemy's attack. Plus 30 with 3 or more ki spheres, the 6 ki spheres for launch an additional super attack, and plus an additional 50% attack starting in which the turn 4th super attack. That could happen on turn 2, or turn 3 if you got GODKU on turn 1. Wow. Plus an additional ki +1 up to 5, so that'll help with getting their ki constantly. And defense plus 15% up to 75%, and chance for a critical hit up to 35% with each attack received. Wow, I would... it's crazy. So even though they're not stacking, they still get a respectable amount of defense at the same amount of time that GODKU is probably building up the defense from the super attack. Interesting. Because they got defense plus 70 here, they got defense plus 75% right here, they got the defense plus 70 right here. That's 7, 14, that's 21, 21.5, or 20, 26. Yeah. 260% defense just from his passive alone. Obviously, that's not accurate. It'd be a lot more because it's multiplicative. He's only getting, let's see here, he's getting the 150, so he's getting 10% more. Defense plus 50%. Another defense plus 50%, plus he has chance to dodge. So the difference between the two is that GODKU gets dodge, while LR Vegeta and Trunks get crit. They are actually getting built up to actually survive in slot 1. Yeah, it's really hard. I'll have to come back to this one, because I think, honestly, at the end of the day, with GODKU building up faster, then let's say hypothetically that on GODKU's best game, he's getting 3 super attacks every single turn. If he got 3 super attacks every turn from his additional, from his hidden potential and from his passive, then he's building up 90% defense every single turn. And even then, he's building up 60% defense if he's double supering every single turn. He's already way past freaking Trunks by turn 5. He's way past Trunks, because Trunks is actually losing that 70% from his entrance. He's losing it. Plus, he doesn't have guard every single turn. He has to be in slot 1. And if you get locked, let's just say you're on a red zone that locks you out, you have to hope you've built up enough defense or you're going to get cucked. You'll get screwed. Okay. I'll save my reservation for the passive for right now, because it's very controversial. Let's go to active skill and links. I'm just grouping active skill and links together. So, all allies attacking the same turn are future. What? I was unaware of that. Okay. Can be active from the 5th turn if they've... Okay. So... causes ultimate damage within a turn. All attacks become critical and raises defense by 20% of all allies. So the thing here is, with GODKU's active skill, he transforms into a completely different unit, and he gets crits for 3 turns. That's how his active works. Transforms critically for 3 turns from start turn, attacks effects up against all types from the 4th turn. Now, the crappy thing of being in this form is that he no longer stacks. He's actually losing defense in total. And yes, he does have a great chance to evade, but he only has a high chance to launch an additional super attack when he had a guarantee before. And he just raises attack and defense for 1 turn. The medium chance of stunning is absolutely worthless. If this was greatly raised attack and defense, this might be a different conversation. He might be a much better transformation. It does help that he crits for 3 turns, but he has to get the additionals off, which is why it's so imperative that you give him additional primarily. Looking back on it, I probably should have put my Vegeta Trunks as, I don't know, probably dodge. Because now that I know that I don't know, I knew it, but I guess I just didn't care. I don't know. They have built-in crit, which is the point that you don't need to give them crit, but I feel like I should have focused harder on dodge than in additional. I'm getting off topic. So as far as active skills go, HP is 50% or less starting from the 5th turn battle. Okay, future Saga category starting from the 3rd. So if you have a team, hypothetically, that is all future units, which I'm going to tell you right now, if you're rocking this as a leader, your entire rotation is not future Saga. So the earliest you can activate this is at half health from the 5th turn. Meanwhile, Goku, he can just activate it on the 5th turn, no matter what. Now, I'm gonna have to just say this right now, his active skill is better. Goku's active skill is better, I'm sorry, it is. No one wants to hear that, and I'm sorry you don't want to hear it, but that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Goku's active skill is better. He can activate it immediately right when he wants to. He gets crits automatically for 3 turns, so that means the turn that you activated and the next turn that he comes back onto rotation. If you're activating his active, more than likely at the 5th turn, you're probably not activating on the 5th turn. You're probably activating it on the last turn that you need to, so you can burn out the last red zone boss. It's probably what you're doing. Or the last boss in general. Or you're activating on the 5th turn because you're in a pickle, and you've got to kill the enemy's phase before it kills you, like, well, STR Broly. Or maybe even Giant Ape Goku in the Legendary Goku event, even. Meanwhile, with Vegeta Trunks, I mean, I absolutely hate this Future Saga category third turn. You're not rocking a Future Saga category with them. I'm sorry, you're just not. The likelihood is very little to none. Or when 50% from the 5th turn. By the 5th turn, I'm hoping that they are built up enough and my team is tanky enough that I'm not going that low. You're going to be able to activate his active skill when you absolutely need to activate it. Like, you have no choice. Like, it's game over if you don't activate it. And that can be clutch, and that's great, but you don't have the choice that GODKU does. You're not given that freedom of activating it when you absolutely know you need it and want to use it right now. But I will say his Raise Allies defense by 50% or by 20%, that's pretty clutch. I'm not gonna lie, that's insane. In fact, if this was like 40% or 50%, I would say it's better. I would say the active skill is better just because that could be a clutch amount, 50%. 20% is not clutch. I'm sorry, it's not. It's an extra stat. It equals to almost nothing. It really does. So I would say his passive is much better. And I'll just say it, his links are good. Like, Royal Lineage is fantastic because it gives P +2 and attack +5%. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry, nobody's beating this. This Link skill is just immensely better. I'll have to make a separate check marks in the future for Links along with active skill, but you're just not beating it. So he beats... the only thing that is up for debate right now is their passive skills in general. In my opinion, their leader skill is pretty much dead even. But their passives... As far as it goes... defensive-wise, they're honestly pretty much the same. They're going to equal out to about the same. I mean, even their stats, like, what are we rocking on stats here? 16k HP, 22 HP, I mean, it's an LR, so. 15k attack, okay. 20k attack. Defense, 13,490. Defense, 3,488. Interesting. Only 2 points lower. Weird. So, you're obviously running these units for both defense and attack, but primarily you're going to use them as tanks. That is what their first and primary objective is going to be. It's honestly hard to say, and it depends on how the battle goes, but either one of them could out-damage and out-defend each other at specific points in the fight. If we're talking about the beginning of the freaking fight, at turn 5, then before turn 5 elapses. So, turns 1 through 5, I would say that Vegeta and Trunks are potentially better in terms of defense and damage. But after that, no. If you go above turn 5, GODKU is better. Just because he has the ability to transform when he wants to, he gets automatic crit for the next turn that he comes back around. I mean, I don't really know how else to say it, but most of the game is going to end by turn 7. Turn 6 or 7. And GODKU's active skill, along with his excessive amount of ability to stack attack and defense and ramp that up, just for longer than Vegeta and Trunks, I have to give... I'm sorry, I gotta give the victory to Goku. I have to. I'm sorry. You can arguably say that they are equal. In fact, I will give people that. I will give you that. That their passives are so much similar that Vegeta and Trunks work better and do better in the first 5 turns than GODKU will. That is 100% guaranteed. Even with Guard, GODKU can get you can get cucked out really quickly and early in the match. He really can. But then again, so can Vegeta Trunks. But they also will build up their defense a lot faster because of their passive effect, where they build up to 75 extra defense just from getting hit. Not to mention the extra damage from getting more crit in their passive. So yeah, they're going to out-damage and they're going to out-defend GODKU in the first 5 turns. But easily by the time it hits turn 5, and by the time it hits turn 6, GODKU's probably built up more defense than the entire passive for Vegeta Trunks has been able to output. And he's still only stacking once per turn. That is it. Once per turn. So he can eventually climb up there, but long-term isn't part of this game. It's just, no, there's no long-term fights, really, that you're going to be able to really argue with here. Vegeta and Trunks are fantastic units still. Both of these units are still very eerily similar, but at the end of the day, I personally have to give the victory to GODKU. He's just the better unit. He has a more easily put together team in terms of simplicity as far as his leader skill goes. I will say that Vegeta and Trunks' leader skill is just about the same, and might even have a little bit more 200% usages, but as I honestly want to give that victory to GODKU, mostly because we have so many exploding rage 200% units. Like Kid Goku, LR AGL Gohan, I mean, heck, even Ultimate Gohan, Carnival Goku. Those are huge exploding rage units that 200%, that's just a fantastic team to put them on. It really is. And with the new banner unit, Vegeta, oh my gosh. If you have this unit, honestly, that's almost a team. There's almost a whole team right here, just on this page right here of Exploding Rage. This is an insane team right here. Meanwhile, with Battle of Fate being Bond of Parent and Child or Future Saga, I mean, you got Gohan. I guess you can throw Tech Vegeta Blue on there. Yeah, see, this is my point. You can find the units to put together on the team to be at 200%. You can find them, but they're definitely not anywhere as easy to put together as GODKU's team. It's just not as easy to put together. It's really not. It's unfortunate. But yeah, I have to give the dub straight up to GODKU, personally. Otherwise, I would say they have insanely similar kits. They're basically almost the same unit, but I feel like GODKU is an upgrade. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Which do you think is the better unit? Do you think Vegeta Trunks is still better? Honestly, I don't think they are. I think these units are pretty equal, though. I will have to say, if I had to put them on a tier list, they would literally be right next to each other, because they're almost the same unit. Almost the same unit. But anyways, guys, have a good day and a good night.